Once upon a time, in a small village named Willowbrook, there lived a brave and curious boy named Tim. Tim was a hard-working student, and his final exams were right around the corner. To help the students prepare, the school decided to keep the library open until midnight. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tim ventured to the library. The village streets were dimly lit, and a chilly breeze made him shiver. But he knew he had to study, so he gathered his courage and continued on his way. Upon reaching the library, Tim settled down at a cozy corner table surrounded by dusty old books. He immersed himself in his studies, determined to do well in his exams. Time flew by, and soon it was 10 o'clock. Suddenly, an eerie silence fell upon the library. Tim looked around, feeling a bit uneasy. He heard strange, unexplained sounds that sent shivers down his spine. But then, out of nowhere, a mysterious figure appeared. A woman with tangled hair and ragged clothes limping towards him. Tim's heart thumped loudly in his chest. He had never seen her before, and her unsettling presence made him feel uneasy. "Who's there?" Tim stammered, his voice trembling with fear. But before he could get an answer, the woman vanished into thin air. Tim was startled but hoped it was just his imagination playing tricks on him. Feeling a bit scared, he decided to leave the library and head home. As he stepped outside, the village seemed deserted, and the night was unnaturally quiet. Shadows danced in the faint moonlight, making Tim's heart race even faster. Walking briskly, he tried to shake off the fear, but then he saw it, a dark, haunting shadow stretching towards him, even though there was no one around. Fear gripped him, and he looked up only to find the woman from the library walking just a few steps ahead. She moved strangely, as if her hands and feet were twisted, and her eyes seemed hollow and sad. Tim tried to pass her, but something inside warned him to stay away. With each step he took, she matched his pace with her slow, limping gait, getting closer and closer. Terrified, Tim finally mustered the courage to speak. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice shaking. The woman replied in a haunting whisper, "Have you seen my daughter?" Her words sent chills down his spine. Tim's heart pounded, and he tried to think of the best way to answer without upsetting her. I saw her over there," he said, pointing in a random direction. The woman turned and hobbled away, disappearing into the darkness. Panicked, Tim ran as fast as he could. He couldn't shake off the image of the ghostly woman. When he reached home, he was so frightened that he passed out. Later, Tim learned the chilling truth. The woman's name was Agatha, and she had once lived in the village. Tragically, her daughter had passed away years ago in a terrible accident. Since then, Agatha's ghost had been seen wandering around, desperately searching for her lost child, hoping for a reunion. From that day on, Tim never forgot the spine-tingling encounter. He learned that even in the quietest places, there can be ghostly mysteries lurking in the shadows. And sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that send a shiver down your spine.